Hello. What's up, guys? My name is Justin Owens. If you're new to this channel, thank you for joining me. Thank you for checking out this video. Today I want to talk about and share my experience with being a songwriter in Nashville. So what's it like being a songwriter in Nashville in 2019? But first, this is a G chord. But I'm tuned down full step, so it's technically an F chord. It's F, but I'm playing G shape. Anyways. Let me tell you something. YouTube videos, people are all about their coffee. Let me tell you something about Capri Sun or Capri Sun. And this video is not sponsored by Capri Sun. But if they watch this, you can sponsor me if you want. Anyways, once again, today I want to talk about being a songwriter in Nashville in 2019. What is it like? Maybe you're watching this video and you're not a songwriter, don't live in Nashville, you have no idea what it's like. Maybe you're watching this video and you are a songwriter and you kind of want to know what someone's experience is. So I've been writing songs for about 13, 14 years now. I picked up the guitar when I was 15 years old. I started writing maybe when I was 16 or 17, and I think like the first song I wrote was about high gas prices because I had just gotten a vehicle. No, I was 18 when I got my first vehicle, so there were songs before that, but that was one of the first songs that I still remember was about like high gas prices. I listened to a lot of punk music at the time, and that was kind of the style that I was writing. I was leading worship at my church, my home church, for the youth group when I first started playing guitar. I did that for about 4 years. Went to college. There wasn't really a desire to be a worship leader or a songwriter. It was just kind of a hobby for me. I was much more into basketball. I wanted to play basketball in college, but that didn't pan out. You know, when I went to college, there was kind of college was the next step. There was a season there where I was trying to figure out what to do with my life. And I was still listening to music. I was still leading worship. I was still writing stupid songs. I think I wrote a song about one of my professors when I was a freshman in college because I didn't like him. He was a psychology professor and he was kind of crazy. I got that song somewhere. After a few years, I realized I think I need to be a songwriter. I think I want to be a worship leader and I want to kind of pursue that. So I graduated from college. I didn't come to Nashville. I wrote and produced an EP with a friend in Murfreesboro, put it out, did a Kickstarter, did all that stuff. Just trying to figure out my way in the music industry and with songwriting. And I had recently, before that, gotten into Switchfoot, and so John Foreman became a massive influence in my writing style. I loved his music. I loved Switchfoot's music. That started taking me down this singer-songwriter route. It's just a mixture of like personal experiences with my relationship with God and then girls, just an assortment of different songs. I went to this conference called Immersion in 2014 here in Nashville. I had written a song. I entered that into this artist competition. I wanted to be an artist. I ended up coming in third place, or I was the top 5, something like that, out of several hundred people. I didn't win it, but at the end there was an individual, his name's Michael Farron, who came to me and said, "Hey, I think you should move to Nashville. You're a really talented songwriter, really talented at singing." He didn't know this, but at that time I had been living at home for a couple of years after college, trying to figure out what to do. I knew that Nashville might be on the horizon. I didn't like actively pursue it, but things just unfolded. In August of 2014, I moved to Nashville, lived with a couple of friends, got an apartment after that. I was working at Fossil and Opry Mills. Yeah, and I just got planted here, just came here because I wanted to get plugged in with different writers in Nashville. Just do the writer thing. I just spilled this all over me. I knew that I wanted to be an artist. I wanted to be a singer-songwriter, but I also wanted to be plugged in with a church and help out with worship at whatever capacity that was. Long story short, I was able to get plugged into a church and helped out with worship there for a couple of years. But on the side, I was still trying to develop relationships with people in the Christian music industry. Michael Farron was one of those individuals. It took a while to get a right with him, but I finally did in 2015. We wrote a song together, and he plugged me with other writers, and it's been, I'm in year 5 now in Nashville. It's been 4 years. I've been here for 4 years. No longer part of that church anymore. I'm now at the church at Avenue South, which is a Brentwood Baptist campus, with my wife Jess, and we lead worship there every so often. We help out with the worship ministry. I put out another EP called Overcome back in 2016, and me and one of my best friends, Marty LeMaine, we wrote that and produced that together. And just over the past four or so years, there's been it's been a roller coaster. I think if I had to put it into one term, it would just be a roller coaster of highs and lows, and like having times and seasons where you're getting a lot of co-writes and maybe you're putting out a single or a record, and then just kind of a valley where nothing's really happening, and then you're back up. And that really kind of exemplifies my experience being in Nashville. And that's only been for 4 years. There's kind of this thing that Nashville is a 10-year town, in that like you have to be here for 10 years, put in 10,000 hours to be able to be successful to some extent. You know, I've only been here for 4 years. I'm still developing relationships. I'm still trying to find the people that I write well with, and that's been the goal. And I'm realizing that more and more. Find those people that compliment you and that you write really well with. One of those individuals is Marty. He and I have been writing together since 2016. He's just one of those guys that you can be open and honest with. He can be open and honest with you. You can critique each other. You strive to write the best songs. Neither of us are really attached to any of our ideas when we present them or when we come into a co-write. We just really want to write a killer song. Last year was a crazy year for me. Got married, bought a house, a beautiful wife, Jess. I got away from songwriting last year. There's another video, I'll link it right here, back to the basics. I stopped writing last year, I stopped pursuing music. I was a little burnt out and jaded on it. I've reassessed, tried to figure out why I was doing this and where I wanted to go, what I wanted to do, how I wanted to share my creativity and talents. Yeah, I'm back now in 2019, actively pursuing it, writing on a consistent basis. I would say that, so if you were to ask me, what's it like being a songwriter in Nashville? The first thing that comes to mind is I'm not a full-time songwriter. I work part-time for a chiropractor, just as a receptionist, and I make videos for him, and we do a podcast, just several different creative things, but that helps pay the bills, along with Jess's job. She works for BMI. I would wager to bet that not very many people are songwriters full-time in Nashville. I know that there is a lot of people that probably do that, but just out of the majority, they songwrite, but they work part-time jobs, they have other gigs, other things that they do to make money. And you have those that maybe have record deals or publishing deals. Even those individuals, more than likely, that's not their full-time gig. I don't have any relationship with anybody that does songwriting full-time. The relationships that I do have, the people that I do know that maybe are signed to a record deal, that are signed to a publishing deal, they've got other jobs. They work for a church, they lead worship somewhere. I'm sure there's someone out there, you know, that's just like straight up, I only write songs. So I would say that's probably the first thing that comes to mind when I think about being a songwriter in Nashville, is that everyone's just trying to make a living doing the things that they do. They want to be a songwriter because they love songwriting, and that's a creative outlet for them. At the same time, they've got to pay their bills. And so the second thing that comes to mind, being a songwriter in Nashville, I don't think that it's possible to do it alone. That doesn't mean that it doesn't happen. And I'm sure that there is some guy or girl that is in her basement here in Nashville, and she only writes songs by herself, and she puts them out, and she makes $100,000 a year. I'm sure that is someone somewhere. The majority of people, they co-write, they have relationships. If you look at a lot of the top Billboard chart songs, they have multiple writers on them, with that understanding that there is the relationship aspect, but it's also community. Those people, they tend to write with the same people. They understand this collective or this group of people work really well. You know, like let's just say that 3 people get together, they write a song, and it gets cut, and maybe it wins a Grammy. Well, those 3 people are going to continue to write together because they see that there's traction and success in what they do together, and it works. And it's small little pockets of communities all around Nashville, people just working together and writing together. And then from that, building relationships with other people, like plugging and bringing in new writers to help build and raise up new writers, and finding those people that can complement them in ways that maybe other people can't. Another thing, maybe number 3, what's it like being a songwriter in Nashville? It can be tough. You are an artist. As a songwriter, you are an artist. You are creating art. You are putting it out into the world, and you're sharing it with your peers. It's being judged. It's being critiqued. Or maybe you're a songwriter and you're trying to build those relationships with individuals so that you can get to the next level. I would say it's difficult. It has been a difficult 4 years for me. It's just been a roller coaster. Highs and lows. There's times where you feel like nothing's getting done. You don't know why you're doing this. And then there's times where you're like, yes, this feels right. This is good. This is encouraging. I can see kind of a future. Even just last week I wrote with Marty, and we nailed down a bridge, it just was like, yes, this is good. It was really encouraging. Like as a creative, you want to know that what you're doing works and it's working. Now in that moment, you're not thinking about how that's going to make you money. As a creative, you have to have that creative outlet. There is a release maybe, or it's like you're being poured into. There's this encouragement that's being poured into you that what you're doing is good, like an affirmation, right? There's kind of like a psychological affirmation. Capri Sun, Capri done. Oh, I forgot to say this. Primarily, I write worship music. I feel like my niche is worship. Yeah, that's kind of what I've been focusing on the better part of a couple of years now. I honestly, like I miss writing those singer-songwriter tunes just about my personal experience with the Lord and with relationships and different people. I just love to write. I love like the vastness of songwriting and so many topics that you can touch on, you can write about. But like I said, I tend to drift more towards worship music. I feel like that's where I'm best suited. That's where I'm the most skilled at. And it may be just because that's where I've written the most. I think that pretty much sums it up. My encouragement to you, okay, so if you're watching this video and you want to move to Nashville, or you're already a songwriter in Nashville and you're watching this video, my encouragement to you is to build relationships. Find those people that you have relationships with and build community around them. And you'll know it when it's working. You'll know whenever you find that gal or that guy that you write with and you're like, yes, that clicked, that was awesome, I want to do that again. And then you do it again and the same thing happens. And then you do it a third time and the song sucks and you're like, that's okay, let's do it again. And you do it a fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10 times and it's good. And you realize this is about that relationship you have, and that's what helps make it work. And then from that, build those communities, build that collective, that group of people around you that you can continually write with, you continually can grow with as a writer and as an individual. Find those people that are honest, that don't just say, yeah, it sounds great. Like, no, you need to find people that will tell you this lyric, that melody is not good, or I like it, but it could be this, or it could be that. Find people that are analytical. Find people that are passionate. Find people that are honest. And like I said, if you're thinking of moving to Nashville, don't think for a second that when you first move here that things are just going to take off for you. It just come with the expectation that you're going to have to work. You're going to have to work hard. You're most likely going to have multiple jobs. I've had 3 jobs at once. Maybe you'll have 4 jobs, who knows? But that's okay, as long as whatever you're doing is allowing you to do what you love. If it's, let it fuel it. Don't come to Nashville and like try to be a songwriter full time. I feel like it's gonna burn you out. It's probably gonna burn you out. Like, allow those secondary jobs, those part-time jobs, full-time jobs, let those fuel your songwriting. Right? Let it fuel your creativity. And I think it's great. Like, when I'm done here, I'll go to this other job and my brain will shift into another gear and do something different. That's a break for me, but also I make money, which can go into my craft. It can go into the things that I want to do. Maybe buying guitar strings, and I don't know, a new pedal or something. However it applies to you. I think that's it. I hope that was clear. I hope there was clarity in that. I hope that makes sense to anybody, to somebody. Like, comment below, like it. If this video made sense to you, let me know. Yeah, I just wanted to share this and share my experience and what Nashville has done for me. I'm excited for the future. This is year 5 for me. I've only been here for a few years. I'm excited for the future. I'm excited for new things to come. For you, I would encourage you, just be expectant. Be expectant for good things to happen. Be diligent. Work really, really hard. Be persistent with people. Be persistent with your craft. Lose a little sleep so that you can get things done that you want to get done. If you like this video, like it, comment below. Make sure you subscribe and hit the notifications bell so that you'll be notified whenever I post a new video. I really want to make more videos like this. I've struggled for the past several months. I've been making videos for about a year just on what I want to make. Like, what content do I want to make? What I want to talk about. And I like making videos. I like songwriting and leading worship and music. So I'm trying to combine all of those things into one jumbly thing. There's going to be more videos about songwriting and, leading worship and my office, studio, this guitar. Maybe I'll do a video on like what kind of guitar this is, because you don't know what kind it is, right? I'll share that in another video, maybe, probably. But anyways, I'm sure I've rambled on long enough. This is probably like a 20-minute video. Anyways, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.